charge the service tax if it is within the limit or otherwise. You take your normal job worker, it is material is exempted today because of the notification 21486, because somebody takes the responsibility to make, a manufacturer takes the responsibility to make it. Now each value chain it is going to be there, job worker is also going to add the value. So when you are sending the material to him, CGST and SGST is going to be charged. When he is going to return, on job work charges and material cost sent by you, so cost plus job work charges will have the print formula will prevail, and he will charge you CGST. You will take the credit. What is going to be impact? Today you do not have impact. Even the material is dying with the job worker more than up to 180 days, and after 180 days, what you do? You only prepare the documents. Now you take a case, if 10% CGST, 10% SGST comes, 20% of the material cost, the cost of that material which you are sending the job worker is going to be a working capital issue, working capital strategies you have to redefine. So working capital requirement will go up or down based on that. So job worker selection will have also the major impact in the GST on the two counts, whether he has got the capacity to return my material immediately because my 20% is gone, or whether he has got the capacity, if he is a small person, he will say I will go on for the compounding scheme, so he is not availing inventory. I just it is the cost to you, your job work charges is going to be a costlier. So selection of a job worker is also the business impact which you need to assess. Rework, whether returnable basis, rework, all rework whenever you are sending it out, you will have to pay GST. Whenever you are receiving it, take the credit. Goods sent for repairing, calibration and testing. Now let us take a case. We have the machinery. Of machinery, one spare part needs some repair. That spare part value you do not know, and spare part you need to send it out. How you are going to cost it? Because IGST and CGST is there. And whenever you are going to receive it, so each transaction of supply, those supply, BML has told supply has not been defined. Supply is supply, whether it is on returnable basis or non-returnable basis. On the lighter front, if you have to talk it, what is the supply of goods and services? Let us say that I get the food from my wife, and I also give the jewelry or gift to her. If the cumulative value of that supply of goods and services, because as we said, goods includes and services is defined as anything other than goods. While definition and its value goes more than 25 lakhs, perhaps you have to also register or take the compounding scheme on the lighter side. Now there will be no concept of an intermediate goods. That is, intermediate goods is final goods are exempted and intermediate goods are taxable. So you have to pay the tax on that. In value chain concept, that will not be there at all. Now the question comes in issues of a tool amortization. The tools. What you do today in the industry. Let us say I place the order on you to supply me the plastic component. You have the good tool room, so you design the mold or dies for me. I said my dies and my molds of my design you cannot give to somebody else, so I take that property. You will make an invoice on me. Do not charge excise duty because you have not removed it, and you charge me the VAT. In tomorrow's circumstances, even though your ownership has been transferred, since you have not supplied, you will not pay GST also. But you will continue to have full amortization charges because value of free goods and supplies to be included. Ownership remains with me, and you are using it, though you might have not paid GST, amortization started, is there. So what you were doing it today, tomorrow it is going to change. Your redefinition of business strategy will have to be there. Destructions of raw material, when you are destructing within, as far as today is concerned, you are reversing the sell-back credit. Now, so far so good, it is not been said that supply of goods or manufactured goods, that concept will not be there. So if you are destructing within, whether it is a finished good, there will be no revision. No revision on the destruction of finished goods. Destructions of raw material and packing material within the plant, you will not pay any taxes. Today you are reversing the sentence. Another value chain, if you see it as a business function, is the services. That is also going to hire.
Sir, if I am sending some product on a testing basis from one state to another state, I am paying 1% as an additional tax on that.
Right.
But if I get it returned back, that 1% will be reversed or it will be.
He will also charge you 1%, so there is an element of 2%.
That's a cost.
2%. 1% to you and he is not, because he is a job worker, he will not. So that is what I say, job worker strategies also will have to be defined. And what generally people will accept, that job worker all should be exempted. That is what we are used to now. Years together, we are used to how that job worker is exempted. When we send the goods to the job worker, it is he will not pay tax and I will not reverse it. But tomorrow let us assume that why it is not going to be exempted. Let us say today I have the job worker in Maharashtra in Gujarat. I send the material gets consumed. And I ask my Gujarat job worker to send to the Madhya Pradesh job worker, and from Madhya Pradesh it comes to me. Two state governments are not going to lose because it's a destination base. And therefore, you take the credit whenever you are sending the goods, you are supplying the goods, you pay the tax. When you are receiving it, you receive the input. Very simple formula, but working capital management is very, very important. As far as services are concerned, job work charges will be again subject to GST. Services intrastate. Now let's take a case. I am a consultant. I am a cost accountant in Pune, Maharashtra. One call comes to me from Delhi corporate office of one company, saying that my unit is located in Jammu and Kashmir and please provide me the services or your opinion of the unit. Corporate office is located so where the service is getting consumed because it is the destination phase. Which unit will get, which state government will get that IGST portion and how it will be detected whether I provided services in Maharashtra or whether I provided services to Jammu and Kashmir or Delhi. Those issues are will be getting solved when the provision of supply rules are place of provision of supply rules. I was told by Chief Additional Secretary today, MPOR committee has finalized place of supply rules. It has been accepted by the MPOR committee, and after 3 days there is a meeting, and then he is going to say that is invite for the public domain discussion. So that, because that is also going to be very important. When, let us say, bank, I am doing the internet banking. Bank is at various places. How you are going to determine the services rendered by one unit to another unit? What is going to be that destination based? So the real challenge with the services intrastate. Intrastate services not so much of issue, but interstate services will have so much of issue. And whether issue get complex or issue get simplified will be determination factor of place of provision of supply. If you have the factories, warehouses, your various places, corporate offices. Let us say today you have the mechanism. My corporate office or my warehouse is located at Bombay or somewhere Bhiwandi. Both the places are registered under the ISD, and all credit of service tax I transfer it by ISD mechanism to the manufacturing locations or the service providers location based on the turnover. All that will go. Each place will have to be registered, and each place, if HO is providing the services to the factory, all that will be supplied against the IGST, CGST as well. So, if you have the four wings of the factory, four wings of the body parts of the this, all parts are considered independently, and each part is providing service to other parts will have the taxable. Import of services will be continued. Import of services will be continued as a part of payment of CGST on the recipient basis. In place of provision of supply, the rule will stop again. The import of services will be on the reverse charges. That will continue because government is used to be a lazy person. Collection of a job, collection of a duty is the prime responsibility of the government. In spite of that, what happens? Income tax to be paid and collected, assessed, is the responsibility of the taxpayer and the assessment officer. But even though I am not a taxpayer, government asked me to collect the tax from you, we are the taxpayer, and deposit TDS provision. Let us say if I have deducted and I have not paid, I can understand that there should be a penalty, there should be a penalty. But if I forgot to deduct, because it was not my prime job, today you have the penalty for that, interest for that, and it is the disallowed expenditure. If you see the service tax from the day one, reverse charge mechanism has come because LIC was the only insurance companies were the such things, or mutual funds were such things that number of agents are across available. It is very difficult to monitor and collect the service tax from them, so reverse charge was introduced. Same you have the import of services, all 5 services were under reverse charge, and today how many? More than 4. So that reverse charge system perhaps is going to continue. The third angle of the business, if you see, is the mining, distribution, logistics. Let's say today there are some companies, they say I will only sell through distributors, I will not sell directly. Some of the companies, MNC, say that whatever the goods are there, we have the Central Asia zone, and they have all the orders you have to place to the Singapore, material will go to Singapore and Singapore to Delhi and all various distribution centers. All their decisions will change in the GST regime because more and more interstate transfers and more 1% tax. So your distribution logic, distribution module, where you have to have the stock, logistic module and cost of logistics. Cost of logistics is going to come down. Reason is very clear that there is not going to be a much of the cost. No warehousing will be there, much of those, so that transit time also will be less, transaction time also will be less. So logistic cost is also going to be less. But if you do not plan your logistic module based on the sales, where you are doing inter sales, where is your total products is sold in India, whether at nearby location of a north, south, central, or it should be a central, and then it will be a distribution model. It will decide based on your market and distribution cost and the value. All that you will have to revisit, considering the model which you may have, and impact until you find out the impact of your logistic cost. What is going to be tomorrow in the GST situation? It will be very difficult to take the benefit of the GST. a marketing and sales promotion, both policy will have to revisit. As I said, physician sample not to be sold. Even today you have the case of a Cadira, where it says that I am manufacturing the same goods and also I am manufacturing the physical physician sample of the same goods. I pay proportionate value of the goods, excise which is paid on the proportionate. But take a case of another case, I don't manufacture those goods and I supply to that physician sample without anything, transaction value of goods. Now here, each and every goods, whatever you are going to supply, with consideration or without consideration, will have the impact of CGST and SGST. It means what? Let us say there is a scheme of 10, you purchase 1000 rupee material, 10 pieces, I will give you 1 free. It is not the value of 11, it is the value of 10 and 1 which you have supplied freely. On that also CGST and SGST will have to be paid. And there is no receipt of services, so goods will be only. So your sales promotion cost will be cheap. Marketing cost and impact of taxes will go cheap. If you take a sample for sales promotion which you give it, on all supplies you will have to pay the tax, and if he is receiving it, he will get the credit. Barter sales and exchange value. Let us take my new fridge or a new car at this price and old car at whatever the price you are giving it. Exchange my barter deal. Barter deal will also have, because the sole consideration will be the criteria. Consideration is not the criteria at all. Since consideration is not the criteria at all, the valuation, to that extent, I beg to differ with Sharma ji that valuation will have the role, major role for the cost accountant, because any supply of goods or services without consideration, tax collection authorities are not going to believe your valuation, they are going to believe professional. So the role of cost accountant will be determine the cost of goods or services wherever and whenever you are supplying it free or goods without consideration. So the role is going to go up and up. Valuation rules are bound to be there, otherwise there will be a lot of evasion rule. The third model of the business, if you have to see the domestic sales. All my sales strategies will have to be. Today domestic sale, what I do is I make a value, then excise duty, then show all the invoice and the freight. I don't pay excise on that, and then I charge this. Today there is a cascading effect, and something on excise not to be charged, something on VAT not to be charged or to be charged. All differential valuation methods will go out, and single value will be prevailing for all payment of tax. Exports are going to be zero rated. All supplies to the deemed exporter, that is export to the EOU and SEZ, will also be zero rated. Foreign trade policies are not going to change and will have no impact in the GST design, because advance authorization will continue to import without payment of duty. Whereas domestic, if you are supplying against the advance authorization, duty will be liable to be paid and he will be entitled to take the credit. So to that extent, deemed export category will vanish in the GST. Only it will remain, even today, deemed export is the concept only in the foreign trade policy. Department of Revenue does not recognize it. That will still remain in the GST. Sales return, non-acceptance of goods. Let us say I have sold the goods to you and you do not accept and you refuse to take what will happen? I have paid the GST. The concept is no Rule 16 will be required. Today you have the Rule 16, when material comes and you receive of the same invoice, you are entitled to take the credit as is input credit, and if it is proceeds which you carry the amount to manufacture, then pay on the transaction value on subsequent sale, or otherwise reverse the sale value credit, that is the provision of Rule 16. That will not be necessary. I have raised the invoice on you, I will charge you GST on that. You say I don't want that material. I will issue you the credit note. And credit note and my invoice will be both accounted. So there will be a matching of the transaction. That provision has been made in the GST. In the business process report which has been finalized by the Empower Group, that is already there. Clearance of goods on approval basis. Today you have the concept that you send the goods and once you send the goods, do not account as the sales. Once you give the acceptance, then only you account the sales. That will not be there. Whenever you are going to, anyway you are paying